All right, so today what we're going to be talking about is, last class we talked about finding area and or circumference of circles. Now we're going to do the same thing, but for something called a sector. And so a sector is just a part of a circle. So think of it as a piece of your entire circle. So we're going to start out by talking about finding the area of a sector. So to find the area of your sector, it's going to start off the same, where you have your pi r squared. Right? That's your formula for area of a circle. But in order to find the area of just our sector or our shaded region, they're going to give you an angle measure. That angle measure is like the fraction or the part of the circle that we are going to find. So we're going to put that angle measure over 360 to find out how much of that circle's area we want. So your entire formula is x over 360 times pi r squared. So we'll zoom in here and we'll try one. So for each problem, I want you to write out the formula. So you have area equals x over 360 times pi r squared. So your angle measure for the shaded region, the shaded area, is 45 degrees. Right? That's going to be your x. Your radius, remember, is from the center of your circle to the edge. So that's r. So we're going to plug in 45 for x, 45 over 360 times pi, which is 3.14, times r squared. Our r is 4. So we're going to get 4 squared. Then all you got to do is just type that into your calculator. 45 divided by 360 times 3.14 times 4 squared, or 16. And you get an area for our sector of 6 and 28 squared centimeters. Remember, area is always going to be squared. So I would like you to pause the video now. Go ahead and try to find the area for the next two. All right, hopefully you paused and gave them a try. For this next one, we use the same formula. Right, these are all areas. So x over 360 times pi r squared. Our x is the angle for our shaded region, remember, so we got 150 over 360 times 3.14 times r squared. Your radius is right there, is 12, so 12 squared. Plug all that into your calculator. 150 divided by 360 times 3.14 times 12 squared. And hopefully you came out with 188.4 centimeters squared, or squared centimeters. Now on the last one's a little tricky because they give you the angle measure for the unshaded region. So what we need to find for our x is we need to find what that shaded angle is. So to do that, you're going to take your full circle, 360, and subtract the 100 that they give us there. That'll give us the shaded region. So we know that the angle measure for the shaded part is 260 degrees. So we got 260 over 360 times pi times our radius, which is 20, squared. When you type all that in, I had a little mistype here. You get 907, and then 0.1 repeating squared centimeters. So the last one there, just make sure you're finding the shaded sector. Other than that, Right, those three are all pretty similar, and that's how you'll find the area of a sector. Now we're going to go on and we're going to talk about finding the perimeter of a sector. So the perimeter of a sector, there's going to be two parts to it that you need to find. You need to find, I'm going to skip down a couple pages here. You need to find the circumference of your circle, so find that edge right there. But then we need to add these two sides of your sector. So you're going to add your radius plus your radius, or shortcut, since you're already using the diameter, is at the end you just add your diameter instead of adding the radius twice. So the formula starts out the same, x over 360 times pi times your diameter. That's going to find the circumference of your entire circle. And then this x over 360 will find just this part right here on your arc angle. And then at the end, you're going to add your radius twice, which is the same as adding your diameter. And that'll give you these two legs of your sector right there. So we're going to go ahead and try it. Got a couple examples here on the next page. So write out the formula every time. Make sure you have all your pieces. So P equals x over 360 times pi times diameter. And then, like I said, we're actually going to just do plus diameter at the end because you're adding your radius twice. So x is your angle still for the shaded sector, so 110 over 360 times 3.14 times your diameter. Your diameter is the distance all the way across your circle. So since our radius is 5, we need to multiply it by 2 to get our diameter of 10. So we're going to do times 10, and then at the end there, add your diameter, so add 10. So when you type all that in a calculator, you come out with 19 and 59/100 meters. Remember, we don't square our perimeter, so we are done at that point right there. You can go ahead and pause the video, try the next two. The last one there's a little tricky, so make sure you take an extra second to take a look at it. All right, so hopefully you paused and took a look. You got P equals x over 360 times pi times your diameter plus the diameter. So our angle is 56, so it's 56 over 360 times 3.14 times your diameter, which remember is double your radius, so it'd be 14. And we're going to add 14 there at the end. And when you round it correctly, you end up with 20.84 yards. Now your last one. This angle right here, remember this means 90 degrees, but that is not the shaded part of your sector. So we need to do 360 minus 90. So the shaded part of our sector is 270 degrees. So 270 is actually the angle we're going to use for x. So you get 270 over 360 times pi, which is 3.14, times your diameter. So remember, your diameter is twice your radius, so 6.8 times 2, or 13.6. And then at the end there, we're going to add our diameter, so add 13.6 at the end. You type all of that in a calculator, you get 270 over 360 times 3.14 times 13.6 plus 13.6. And you get a perimeter for your sector of the shaded region there of 45.63 when you round it correctly. So that is finding the perimeter of your sectors. On your homework, the formulas are on the top of each page. One page you'll be finding the area, one page you'll be finding the perimeter. So you got 6 of each. You can go ahead and give those a try, and then make sure you show your work and correct when you are done.